Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Joe and today I'm going to be revealing my plans for Game Week 28 with FA Cup games giving us a clue over the weekend to the future double game weeks and blanks. I'll see how my fixture plans are shaping up and it also looks like I'm going to need some Man City players over the coming weeks. So I take a look at their latest best assets. If you want to see how I got on in Game Week 27, look back at my video for last week. That came out on Saturday, I think, in which I also take a look at how bad the promoted sides are and why our attackers should be targeting them. Also looks at why captaining Palmer, who blanked last week, was perhaps a little unfortunate, and this time around may not be such a bad idea to captain him again. I know a lot of people will be put off, but could be good. But do have a look at that video. That may help there. Okay, just before we move on, just a reminder, do press that like button. It does help us out, and do remember to subscribe. Keep up to date with all our latest videos and podcasts. Okay, I'm going to get straight into Man City at the moment. So I have no Man City in my side. I got rid of Haaland in Game Week 10. It was probably the best move I've ever made in 16 years of playing this game because it enabled me to get Salah. I got Cunha in, who at the time was great, injured, suspended at the moment. And Man City have been in a pretty poor run of form. They're getting better. They're not back to their usual high standards, but they are getting better. Plus, they have a game in Game Week 29, in which case Haaland, Marmoush, some of those other players might be in the captaincy discussion there. They also play Leicester in Game Week 30, so that harks back to what I was talking about in my last video about the power of targeting those promoted sides. And so I was thinking that I think I'm going to need some Man City at some point. It also coincides with a time when you've got the likes of Salah, Isak, the Liverpool players, Isak, in my case, Cunha as well, who are going to be missing a game in Game Week 29. Isak could be injured for Game Week 28. I'm recording this on Wednesday afternoon. I don't know what the latest is, but there's rumours flying around that either he could be out for another week or two, might not be. Have to see. Personally, I think I'd be keen to keep Salah. Some people might want to move him on. If Palmer does blank against Leicester, that means not only has he got a number of blanks in a row for 11 million, he's blanked against in the two easiest games a player could possibly have in Southampton and Leicester. So that means, yeah, he's on borrowed time, and I could possibly remove him in Game Week 29. In order to get Haaland in, if I wanted to go down that path, because I don't think I need Palmer, but I might need Haaland. Okay, so let's have a look at the options. Best Man City players last 6 game weeks. Haaland is top, no surprise there. Costs 14.7. That's the rub, though. That's how difficult it is. So you've got to. I'd have to take a hit to get him in, I think. Got 37 points. Over his last 6 game weeks. He's in a quarter of teams. Not many around where I am in the rankings, around 70k, but I suspect that's going to go up. He's got a couple of assists and goals, so 6 attack returns, 6 weeks. Created 7 chances, 11 shots inside the box, 10 on target. Started 5 out of the last 6 game weeks as well. Pretty good. Bearing in mind, I've done last 6 game weeks for this one rather than the last 6 matches. So some of them, that's going to encompass some blanks and double game weeks as we go down. So I'll probably switch to matches more likely. But I just want to do this when you're looking at just one team. You're not really comparing a team that's played 3 times against a team that's played once or something like that. They've all played, Man City have played within the last 6 game weeks. Next is Savio, who I'm quite tempted by. He's only got a couple of assists, but he's created 7 chances. He's had 8 shots inside the box, 4 of those on target. He's 6.2. He's only in 2.3% of teams. As I said, expect that to go up, but he'll still be a differential. I like the look of him. He looks good. He looks pretty nailed on as well. So if I didn't go for Haaland, I would look to get perhaps Savio and perhaps another one. Maybe even maybe triple up without Haaland. That would certainly act as that coverage with that fateful word that a lot of people don't like. Marmoush is next on the list. His minutes per expected goal involvement is every 208 minutes. Savio's is 178, by the way. That's expected goal involvement, by the way, not just expected goals. So Marmoush, he's a tricky one. He looks great. 7.2. So price is pretty good. He's a forward, which is great for someone like me with Cunha. So looking, I can move him on. He's in 9% teams, great differential. No assists, 3 goals, that's good. Created 6 chances, had 4 shots inside the box. He's had 5 shots on target, so he's shooting accurately from long range as well. But the only problem I have is he's played 5 times, and he's only on this one fixture where he just went off. So we got 17 points, and the rest have been blanks. So is he a player I can rely on? I don't know. He's got Gameweek 28, but even if he gets another hat-trick in Gameweek 28, even if it's against Nottingham Forest, or he blanks that, I'm not sure that's going to tell me much more. So he's a bit of a shot in the dark. So I might get him. I think I know what I'm getting with Haaland. He's in good form at the moment. But Marmoush is there. So Marmoush and Savio, I think, could be quite good. Foden's next, 9.2. I think it's too expensive for a player that I don't think he's going to start as many matches. He started 5, but I think Marmoush... and even though Savio started fewer matches, I just feel with that price as well, I can stomach Savio being benched and coming on for 20 minutes. Foden, if I'm spending 9.2, I want him to start. So yeah, he's got 3 goals, he's got an assist, he's got 4 attacking returns, there are 5 shots inside the box, and he's had 5 chances created the last 6 game weeks. His minutes per expected goal involvement every 232 minutes is not as strong. As you go down this list, the options get weaker until we get to a certain defender. So we've got Doku next. Once again, I don't know whether he's going to start. 3 starts. It could do great if he does. He's got a goal, he's got an assist, he's created 8 chances, 5 shots inside the box. It's only 6.2. I prefer Savio though. De Bruyne, 9.3. Oh my God, 2 starts. Every time he does play, he does seem to get returns. I mean, although his last goal was an absolutely easy goal against Plymouth, from good work by Haaland to get that goal. But 9.3, once again, I want to see much more starts. We're already seeing this season. It's the decline of De Bruyne. Great whenever he does play, but he's just not getting the starts. 3 assists, though, nevertheless. Kovacic, 5.4, if you're desperate, but really, I don't know whether he's going to play. Got a goal and assist last 6 game weeks. I'm not going to go there. Next name on the list is the one I'm very interested in, Gvardiol, 5.9. His minutes per expected goal involvement every 366 minutes. Not as strong, but for a defender, that's pretty good. He's in a fifth of teams, around a fifth of teams. No assist, but he has got a goal. And he's created 4 chances. He's had 4 shots inside the box. So he's still posting good stats. 6 starts in 6 game weeks. That's good. The only one in our list to get that. So I feel pretty happy with him. What I could do is something like Cunha to Marmoush and Alexander-Arnold, Gvardiol, and go into the Man City fixtures like that. And maybe in game week 30, when they're playing Leicester, maybe even get some more. But that would lock me out of Haaland, I think. And I'm not sure what I'll do with that. So I hope that's been of use. I think against Nottingham Forest this time around, a lot of people will be thinking, why are you talking about Man City? But I think we just need to be aware of that. Game week 28, for a lot of people, is going to be sort of a hold. They might want to maybe use a transfer because they've got too many injuries. But on the whole, it should be a hold match, really, because we're going to be free hitting in 29, maybe. We're going to be using transfers for 29, targeting that blank game week. For me, I just feel I'd like to go into that blank game week with 2 transfers, because even if you're free hitting, you can carry the transfers over. So I think game week, well, I'll talk about it in a minute with my fixture planning, but I think as we go into sort of game week 30 to 33, 34, we know there's going to be blanks. There's going to be a blank rather. We know there's going to be double 33. We don't know the extent of it yet, or who's going to be in it, definitely. But that's what we do know. So I feel I'm going to need a lot of my chips, and I would love to get transfers because, well, I'll talk about it in a sec. But game week 32, Newcastle and Crystal Palace double. Crystal Palace fixtures aren't great then. And then it's possible, well, Newcastle are unlikely to double in 33. So then if you wildcard into that 32... and you want to play a bench boost in 33, you're going to have to remove some players that you've got in for that 32 double, some Palace and Newcastle players. So that's where I think transfers are going to be handy. Ideally, I mean, Cunha's he's so annoying. I mean, if I was a Wolves fan, I'd be really annoyed. But he's really annoying because I was going to captain him game week 29. I was going to be fine. I was going to I can ignore Man City now. But I just think with Cunha out, that's another transfer I've got to make. And it means it's another transfer I can't make for that sort of 32, 33 period when I want to perhaps move on some Newcastle and Palace assets and not play them. I think Isak, I'd probably play him anyway as a single game weeker. But yeah, it's another single game weeker. The dream of 15 double game weekers and a bench boost may have to wait for another season. Okay, let's have a look at me next week. So this is my team at the moment going into game week 28. I've got a picture of Salah there. He's going to be my captain. He's at home to Southampton. I am recording this ahead of Liverpool's game against PSG, so I don't know what the... So say, for example, he could get injured for that one, but he could get... it could mean Liverpool could get beaten, and that means the next leg against PSG is going to be really important. So will Salah be played against Southampton when an absolute crunch game against PSG is there? I don't know. So you're going to be watching this on Thursday morning. You're going to have that knowledge that I'm not. So at the moment, currently, Salah is my captain against Southampton. If they get trounced by PSG, I'm going to possibly switch to Palmer. But if that's not the case, I think I'll stick with him. Because if they beat PSG, then that means that chances are he'll come off in the 70th minute, 80th minute or something like that. It means he can play Southampton, maybe come off in the last 20 minutes or something, 10 minutes, and then play. But by then he hopefully would have scored lots of goals because Southampton are that bad defensively. And then he's free to play PSG. So yeah. Anyway, you're going to know that. So you've got one free transfer going into this. Last week I got Pickford and Rodgers out for Bowen and Areola. So freeing up a bit of money, and also I prefer those West Ham assets against Leicester, and they did me well. Both of them delivered, which was great. So I've got Henderson against Ipswich at home. Happy with that. Robinson against my team Brighton. Fulham, annoyingly, are quite good against Brighton. So we'll see. It's more for that assist potential. Robinson's assist potential is still huge, absolutely huge. So he's worth playing. Gabriel away to Manchester United. Happy with that. He's still got goal threat, and also it's Manchester United. Alexander-Arnold at home to Southampton. Will he play? Won't he play? I don't know. But I've got a couple of players on my bench, hopefully, that hopefully won't be needed, but could be. Palmer's my vice-captain against Leicester. Salah at home to Southampton is my captain for now. Bowen is at home to Newcastle. I'm happy with that. Hall looks like he's going to be out. They could be out. Some attackers down. Gordon will definitely be out because he's suspended. And Isak could be out as well. So I'm happy to play Bowen there. He's at home game as well. Brian Bomo is home to Aston Villa. Aston Villa can concede. So happy with that. Dango as well away to Tottenham. I know Evan Nielsen's back, but I feel that Dango will either play perhaps as the wing. He could play up front. Evan Nielsen could be rested. Or he could come on for the last 20 minutes. Last 20 minutes against Tottenham's tired legs. I'll take that. Isak may or may not play. He's away to West Ham. And Chris Wood at home to Man City. Man City can still concede, and Newcastle are good. Nottingham Forest are still a great side. So I'm happy with Chris Wood there. On my bench, I've got Areola home to Newcastle. I don't know if I'd switch that around because Henderson's home game against Ipswich is too good. Mikalenko's away to Wolves. I'm happy for him to play. He's been getting some cheeky 6-pointers on my bench, so I wouldn't mind that coming into my main team. He may have to come in for Alexander-Arnold, for example. He may have to come in if Isak's out. He may come in if Dan goes out. Next one on my bench is Houston. So this is, those who are familiar with these videos will know that I get bench points regularly. But this is where it pays off. This means I can hold this transfer. I've got Cunha problems, possibly got Isak problems. I've possibly got Alexander-Arnold rotation problems, but I've got that bench. So Houston would come in there he's away to Tottenham. I expect him to concede, but he does have a little bit of goal threat. You never know. And then I've got Cunha sitting there with his red card and his mega suspension for another violent assault on a player. Annoying. So yeah, that's the plan. I hold. I'm going to try and hold. Because Game Week 29 is when I want to make some moves, and I still don't know whether I'm going to get Haaland in or not, and I want to give myself the flexibility to do that. I don't mind taking a hit in Game Week 29. I think that's quite a good kind. I think a lot of people will. I think it'll be on the whole a lower score. There won't be so many engaged managers. There's more engaged managers now, but there won't be so many thinking, oh, I'm going to take like, oh, what a shock, some of my players aren't playing. You're still going to get a bit of that. Yeah, okay, so that's me. Let's have a look at the fixtures. So hopefully what I've got here, yeah, so I've still got my notes here, and I've got some of the fixtures that are going on. So yeah, that's my plan. I've got in big letters, hold. Game week 28, hold. Game week 29, I have a decision to make. Who do I captain? Cunha was going to be. Chris Wood, he's against Ipswich. Looks good. Possibly better than the fixture against Man City have got against Brighton. Brighton are in one of those we hate teams that people think are going to beat us mode. Chelsea, out the way. Newcastle, out the way. Man City, they beat as well. So I think that can be a tough game. I wouldn't put it past Haaland to score or some of the other Man City players, but I think that will be tough. That could even be a draw. There could even be a bright victory. Welbeck's in such good form, and all the team are really. So I think Chris Wood might end up being my captain. I think he might be the most well owned as well, because I think free hitters are going to go for him. So in Game Week 30, as I said, I'm going to want to preserve some transfers. I'm very likely to use 2, possibly 3 with a hit in Game Week 29. So I'm going to be back down to that 1 free transfer for Game Week 30. But I'm going to probably want at least 2 transfers going into Game Week 32. So if I wildcard in Game Week 32, bench boost in 33, free hit in 34 to accommodate, because the teams that that double in 33 are likely to blank in 34. So if I go into that, I'm going to want to use a couple of transfers in 32 to build up double game weekers for 33. So that means any Newcastle or Palace players I get in will go towards that. Crystal Palace, they got away to Man City and Newcastle. They're not great. It's not great for defenders. Munoz would be eye-catching, but am I going to get any clean sheets? That's still his bread and butter. Mateta could easily score, so I think I'd probably go for him. Newcastle, Isak, and I'd probably go for Gordon, and Gordon is one I'd want to then remove in 33. Hall's out, so I don't know if I'd go for him, and I wouldn't go for a defender. So I don't think I would. I'm not a goalkeeper, rather, because will Dubravka play? Is Pope good enough? And obviously Henderson is in my team at the moment, but he'll probably go in 32. It's tough because I don't particularly want to carry him into 33 if he's not doubling. And they're terrible games, City and Newcastle away. So yeah, that's the tentative plan still. I've got to go with what I do know. I know there's going to be blanks 34. I know there's going to be a double with 33. So Game Week 32, wildcard, 33, bench boost. Game Week 34, free hit. That's still the plan. I could change that up though. It could be that I wildcard in 32. Wildcard in 33. Just build up my team, build up Newcastle, Crystal Palace, then wildcard out of it in 33. And then play the bench boost another week. Hope there's a double in, say, 36. Build up for that. Or just use it towards the end of the season. I don't really want to do that. I mean, my instinct is to play it in the biggest double game week, which will be 33 there. Also, I think after game week 30, I think just before game week 30 or 31, we're going to know the results of the FA Cup round, which will decide which will be these blanks and doubles. So I'm going to hold off for that bit. So yeah, ideally save those transfers. Aside from that, who's got the best fixtures? Wolves got the best fixtures, but their best players out. So I think that's largely irrelevant now. But Aït-Nouri could still be a good option. Newcastle are second, but annoyingly their best players are either out or suspended or got a question mark over them. Let's hope Isak's mine. Got West Ham away. You've got Brentford and Leicester, Manchester United and Crystal Palace after the blank game week. Bournemouth are next, which is why I've still got Dango. I think Cliver is a great option. I don't rule getting him out as well for the top for 29 and getting less of other fewer Man City players, because Bournemouth have got Tottenham away, then Brentford, Ipswich, West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace very strong. They got these great fixtures. Ipswich at home, blank, then Southampton. So if you're free hitting, get your Crystal Palace players in. They got Brighton as well, so Derby. Meanwhile, Fulham, Brentford, Aston Villa, Manchester United, Everton have the worst fixtures there. I've only got a sprinkling of them. I don't know whether Brian Bowman might stay with me on my wild card just because he's so good. And I've enjoyed owning him in my team so much. Anyway, I hope that's been of help. There's lots of other videos I've been doing this week. So FPL General, I was chatting to him about his team reveal. We focused a lot on strikers there, so do have a look at that video. Similarly, we look at strikers, but with a particular focus on GW28, especially for the captaincy. So we look at forward options there, sort of crystal ball gazing a bit with Tom Freeman's team reveal. Do have a look at that. And as I said, I look at just how bad the promoted sides are in my video last week. And this week, once again, the chip strategy mayhem goes on. I hope that's of help, giving you some thoughts. If you can hold, do. But if you need to use transfers, hopefully we've given you some good options there. Take care. See you soon.